cardio. I'm Lacey and welcome to 20 minutes of kettlebell cardio, and boy do I have some cardio for you. You're going to need all the support you can get, both from me as your trainer and also possibly your bra. So this class is maybe one of the harder ones in this entire 4-week program, and it will evolve week to week. So this is the first taste of it, if you will. All you're doing today are snatches on one side or single arm swings. So I want you to pick where you're at in that mix. If you're more of a beginner, you could do 2-hand swings for this class and practice your 2-hand swings. Just make them feel kind of heavy. I'm gonna get you warmed up for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go into a 15-minute set of just those swings or just those snatches. As always, the program is a recommendation. You could even take different, once you know the program more, different sets of single arm swings and then switch to snatches. So, food for thought here. We're gonna start out with a weighted good morning. So I want you to take the kettlebell that you're using today, could be your snatch or single arm swing weight bell, or maybe you have two like I do that you might rotate between, and stand with it behind your back, shoulders over your hips, pull your belly button up, slightly back, breathe into your lungs, and then send your hips back into your kettlebell. So we're just going into a nice easy hinge here. And when I'm in the good morning, I like to think of almost spinning my inner thighs in and lifting up my booty cheeks. So I'm thinking of my booty cheeks going up and my tailbone going up. I'm trying to think of my weight staying even within my feet, my chin staying slightly tucked, so I'm not reaching it forward or moving it like this. You should really be looking down at the ground at all times in this. We are going for 45 seconds on. You guys know this by now. I'm probably just gonna even stop saying how much time it is because most of the warm-ups are the same. In that regard, we'll go 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we're gonna take a hip pry hold. If this is absolutely excruciating for you, you can come down to the ground and do 90-90s like we did earlier in the week, or you can just take some goblet squats. Let's pick up your kettlebell, bring it to your chest, sit down to the bottom of your squat and hold the bell in front of you. So we're just gonna hang out here. Super fun. Of course, at this moment, I just got an itch on my neck. It's always the worst timing, right? Like right when you get down and you're holding the bell. We'll persevere though. I did realize today, so I've been having, this is like story time TMI when we're all deep squatting here. I realized today that when I got to itch myself too, the shampoo and conditioner I've been using have been giving me hives. You've got less than 10 seconds here. You can even do this with body weight. I find it to be easier with the bell, which is disturbing. So I discontinued that. I've been super itchy from it, and I think I'm on the mend now that I've figured out the source. We've got 3, 2, and 1. Next up, we're gonna go for a Jefferson curl, which is basically the opposite of what you just did in the good morning. You're gonna hold the bell in front of you and round your spine going down. You can keep your legs straight. You can stand on something and elevate your feet so you can get even more of a stretch, or you're just gonna let the bell tap the ground and roll up. So it's like a weighted forward fold. Of course, if this is not for you, you're just gonna do a regular body weight forward fold. So let's start taking these. So yeah, it's the Redken, not to call them out, but I'm going to acidic bonding, I think shampoo conditioner. There's something in that makes my hair really soft, but that makes my skin break out in hives. So I don't know, beware. I think I'm gonna go back to my more natural substance hair care for now. And if you're looking for something like that, this is turning into shop my right now, but I get nothing for promoting this. I really like Virtue's hair products. They're kind of a nice in-between with like salon quality, but also stuff that doesn't irritate you if you have sensitive skin. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Bet you didn't think you're gonna get hair care wrecks in class today, but here we are. We're gonna take some oblique lifts next and just get some side bends going both directions, more lateral. So go ahead, hold your bell on one side, bring your feet under your hips, other hand is gonna go behind your head, and you're just gonna let yourself bend to the side. I like to look with my gaze slightly towards my opposite elbow and think of pulling that elbow back behind me so I'm not rounding here as I let my other kettlebell just move down my bod, and then I'm gonna push with my opposite foot to stand up. So we're just getting some length on this side and using our oblique here to lift us. Try not to just let your tummy go. So I want you to think again of almost hardening your belly button or pulling up and then breathing into that hold there. This sometimes feels really good on the low back, and that's part of the reason I put it in this part of the program, to get any of those little things out before we do all the swinging. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch to your opposite side. So we're just gonna hold the bell opposite side. Hand goes behind your head. We'll go in 3, 2, and 1. So we're just gonna let it go down. Breathe in and breathe out. Try not to hold your breath. It might feel a little bit like you can't breathe on this part. It's kind of like doing a hollow hold, but that's okay. It just lasts for a second. Trying again not to round my elbow here. I'm trying to really pull it back. So we're all gonna be varying degrees of mobility in that position, but do the best that you can. And we're all gonna be varying degrees of how far the bell's gonna go down. So it only moves a few inches for you to keep your position. That's totally fine. Do your range of motion today, but just push yourself to not be scared of it. We've got 3, 2, and the 1. I can already tell I need like a bobby pin or 2, but no fear. I'm here with you and your supportive sports bra. We're gonna hit these snatches or single arm swings. So the next part of class lasts 10 minutes. This is the gist of it. You're going to have every 60-second intervals, one time through everything, but in those 10 intervals of swings and snatches, every interval, the rep count increases by 1 until we get to the final rep count of 10 and 10. That is each side. So we're gonna start at the bottom of the hill and we're gonna slowly start sprinting up the damn hill. So your first round, you're not hearing this wrong, you're just gonna do 1 swing each side or 1 snatch each side. And then you're probably gonna have literally like 50 seconds to hang out. Shit's gonna start getting a little real around minute 5 or 6, because once you hit 6, you're getting into that 6 reps per side. You're not gonna get as much recovery. 7, 8, 9, and 10 are where the class really begins. So if you hit 6 and 7, 8, 9, 10 are not doable for you, I want you either to try to stay at 6, or you can go down to the rep count that you feel like is the most challenging for you, but also not easy. I don't want you to go through this class just chilling. It should feel hard, but not so hard that your form goes to shit or you go to shit as well. So let's go ahead and get our weights out. Again, you could have a heavier one for single arm swings if you're taking that today. You could have a lighter one for your snatches. We're gonna get started right away. 10 seconds, we're in it. So pick your single arm swing or your snatch. You're gonna do 1 each side. If you don't know how to snatch, today is not the day. Abandon ship, go for your single arm swings. There's another day to learn that. Let's go ahead and pick your bell up. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. Since this rest break is going to be a little more aggressive than the rest, I'm gonna give you some tips on your snatches if you're taking those. You don't wanna hold your breath in these, so you should be exhaling at minimum here, and then inhaling as the bell comes down. That's the single breath. You can also take 2 inhales, so you would exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale. That's the double breath. Sometimes people think you get a little bit more air in as you're doing that. I would say if you feel comfortable with the double breath, try it out. Every person's different. Sometimes double breath trips people up. You don't have to really concentrate on that. I want you to concentrate most on just letting the bell drop. So letting your arm fall, not letting your arm reach. So I'm here versus there. It's like this small movement of your shoulder that gets to be a little too much is what gets you in trouble with casting with your snatch. Okay, 5 seconds. We're gonna go 2 each side of the movement of your choice. 3, 2, and 1. As you are gripping your bell in your snatch, you gotta make your grip loose. As you flip it over your hand, it's very important that you stick with that throughout. If you're death gripping it, that's another reason it might flop over your hand and hit you, because you're not allowing that little bit of gentleness that has to come with the power in this one. I'm gonna take single arm swings for this next set of 3 and give you guys a little advice on your back arm, your moving arm. It should be equal in the snatch, except for when you come up. Snatches, you're most likely, well, you could do the same in the snatch, but we're gonna talk about what it does when it goes back. You have just about 10 seconds. We're going to hit 3 each side. So remember, when we hit 6 is when things start to pick up a notch. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. So I'm reaching back actively with this opposite arm. No matter if I'm swinging or snatching, if you are slow with that arm, guess what? It's going to feel a lot slower because you're gonna be moving slower. So it's just like running. The speed that your arms go when you're running is the speed that you're gonna go. It's why sprinters' arms are pumping powerfully when they're sprinting. Marathon runners control a lot of their pacing with how much arm speed they're able to do. Their legs are gonna follow the arms, is what I'm trying to say. So Your thrust is gonna follow the activity here. If this is lazy, the rest of your snatch or your single arm swing is going to be slow, and it's gonna be harder if it's slower. You wanna try to be as fast and as efficient in these movements as possible. The whole thing about this is power and efficiency. So if you're moving slow, it's just gonna make it feel like you're dragging your feet in that marathon. Okay, 4 reps. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. I was filming some new content for just life. Like, you know, when you teach fitness, you always need like fitness videos, whatever. And I was snatching out in the world the other day, and a guy came up to me on the street. He was like, CrossFit? CrossFit? I was like, no, not CrossFit, but kind of similar. So you might have people, when you get good at kettlebells, thinking you're a CrossFitter, which isn't a bad badge of honor to have, but we kind of do CrossFit here in Bells Up Studio a little more balanced than what you would find in a CrossFit gym, but concepts are the same. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that as a compliment. Okay, rep 5. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the differences in your hips between the single arm swing and the snatch. So in the snatch, we're vertical. We're imagining jumping. You have to drop your hips a little more and turn this hinge a little squatty. In the single arm swing, we're sending the bell out. We're creating a bigger arc here. So our hips are gonna go back maximally. We're not leaning forward. We're still bending our knees, but we're creating more thrust forward. So you might feel like your body's a little more upright in your snatch. So don't send your hips back like a swing, or your snatches might start feeling a little clunky, and you might start feeling like your lower back is taking over a bit. Okay, 10 seconds. We're gonna go to that 6. So this is the oh shit round. This is where you're not gonna have as much rest, and it's gonna feel a little bit harder. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. As you're single arm swinging in these higher reps, I'm gonna talk a little bit about your grip. You can do the traditional palm down, which is usually what I prefer. You can also do hammer grip, which is palm in. Sometimes hammer grip allows you to have a little tighter grip and get that shoulder packed into place more, which is what we want. We don't want you reaching and moving here. So if that's you, you could try a hammer grip. I find as my bell gets bigger, I don't like the hammer grip as much. I like it when the bell is more of a moderate weight. You have 7 reps coming up in less than 10 seconds. We're gonna talk about some breathing techniques in these last 3 rounds to get you through this. Let's go 3, 2, oh wait, hold on. Now we go 3, 2, and 1, giving you every bit of rest there. Okay, your last half here, I don't want you to slow your hips down. It's gonna take you about 20 seconds from here to finish that full rep count of 7. So once that bell goes down, you're only gonna have close to 20 seconds, maybe 30 for some of you. Some of you might be finishing right about now. When you get here, I want you just to walk around, pace around, and try to take a 3-second inhale and then an exhale through your mouth. You have 15 seconds until we start 8 here. I did 8 the last round, but you probably weren't watching me, so it doesn't matter. But we do have those 8 coming up. So try to take those inhales. You are almost ready to start. These last 3 rounds should feel very hard. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. My tip here is to get your hips down as quickly as you can, and you have to think of using your legs here. So if you are relying too much on your upper body in these snatches or single arm swings, you will tire out by the time you get to the opposite side, because snatches and endurance snatches like this especially are very challenging to your lower body, because that's what you're using to lift the weight. Remember, your arm is just the catalyst for where the bell goes, either in front of you in the single arm swing or above your head in the snatch. Your lower body, these big muscles, the power from your hips to lifting it. You have 9 reps coming up in 15 seconds, and then we just have one more round. If you have any kind of hand rips or your calluses are compromised, you should quit now and don't risk it, or you might be able to do the single arm swings. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. As we build out this section, I'm going to talk a lot about troubleshooting you can do if you feel like you don't quite get the bell up, or maybe one of your hips is kind of thrusting because you're a little tired more than the other. This last round of 10 and 10 is not for the weak. It's probably going to take you close to the entire minute interval. If you are spent at 9, guess what? You're going to rest. If you need to set the bell down between your snatches or single arm swings, you're going to do that. You have 15 seconds here. I want you to have a good strategy depending on how you're feeling, but I don't want you to quit here. We got to keep moving if you so can through this last set. It's important. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Do what you can, even if it's just 5 reps, if that's what you have left. You got to attack each one, especially that second side. Sometimes the hardest thing is literally counting your own reps. I finished that 10 and 10 set of single arm swings pretty fast. 1, because my weight is light to teach. 2, because I'm more rested than you guys. I've been talking you through a lot of stuff, not doing the whole thing. So you might just be finishing here. That's okay. When you are done, everybody has just about 5 seconds until the interval's over. So we should be getting close. I want you just to lay on your back. Bring your arms to your mat. Let your chest rise and then fall with your breath. Try not to correct anything, but just see if you can get yourself feeling out of that panic mode. It might be for you closing your eyes. It might be letting your legs go long instead of having your feet on the floor. It might be letting your knees collapse in. It might be bringing your hands to your chest or your belly and just feeling your heartbeat. Sometimes that can calm us down. Just let yourself lay on the ground. That is it for here. We're gonna bring our central nervous system back to a normal reality, not this kind of fight or flight, which is what this class will feel like. So I did say this class will ramp up. I'm not gonna give you more details other than that, but there will be options to change up how this feels, and it can get a little spicy, and it will. Just go ahead and bring our legs side to side. Windshield wiper your legs over. Sometimes I give this movement all the time in my one-on-one sessions for myself because it just feels good on the low back after you've been aggressively hinging, powerfully hinging so much. Very good. Okay, if you need to continue chilling, go for it. It's your job to bring yourself back down. We got to get ourselves back into not feeling so spent and anxious and heart racing. We're calm, we're cool, we're resting. It might take you 5-10 minutes, but whatever that is for you, I hope you have a really great rest of your day. I will see you in your next session here in Bells Up Studio. I hope you're enjoying this 4-week program. Remember to get real, get strong, and get those bells up. Bye.